Hi, my name is Samson Itoje, CEO, Erimama Investment Company Limited, a reliable Lagos property investment company. Today I have a question for you. How many properties should you buy during your working years? Think about it. Pause for a moment and think about it. Should you buy one property, two properties, three properties during your working years? Now you may wonder, why is that question important? Why is the answer to that question important? The reason is this: sometimes bad things happen to good people. Sometimes good people, good employees lose their jobs. Okay? Now, you'll be working for a company, you're a very hard worker, you are very committed to your job, but if your company faces a financial crisis, sometimes you'll be forced to let some good workers go. Okay? So sometimes even very hardworking and dedicated employees lose their job. And for those who do not lose their job and who get a good salary for their entire career until they retire, eventually you'll be forced to retire when you attain the mandatory retirement age. What happens when an employee retires? Simple. The salary that used to come into his account every month stops coming. Immediately you find that you are now on your own. So how can a person who has lost his job or who has retired deal with the issue of now having to pay his bills consistently month on month without a monthly salary? The fallback position is the amount of assets that you have, real estate assets that you have. The more properties you have or own, the easier it would be to deal with that situation that everybody will eventually face, that of retiring and no longer having a monthly salary. Okay, think about it. Imagine that a person has an employee retires, and by the time he retires, he has one house where he lives and he has a plot of land. Okay, when he's pressed for cash, what will happen? He will sell that one plot of land and money will come in. What then happens after he finishes spending the money he got from the sale of that one plot of land? There will be nothing to sell unless he wants to sell where the house is living in. Get the point? So the more properties you have by the time you are up to your retirement age or you retire, the easier it is to deal with financial challenges that come after retirement. Imagine, for instance, that instead of having just one or two houses, or you have 10 houses, or you have 2 houses and 10 plots of land. Okay, and when you need money, you sell one, and that money you get, that income that comes in from that sale, may take you for 1 or 2 years. After 2 years, you sell another. After another 2 years, you sell another. After another 2 years, you sell another. Get the point? So the more properties you have, the easier it is to maintain financial independence after retirement. Now imagine that you have 10 plots of land, and each of those 10 plots of land, you bought them at 4.6 million naira each. Now you spend 46 million naira buying those 10 plots of land. Now, if after retirement, those 10 plots of land has grown by 10 times the amount at which you bought them, those 10 plots of land will become 460 million naira. What if you have 20 of those plots of land and they each have grown by 10 times the amount at which you bought them? You will now be worth 920 million naira. What if you had 72 plots of land? You will now be worth 3.3 billion naira. Get the point? So when you are in paid employment and that salary is coming in month after month, the right thing to do is to buy as many properties as possible. Now, as I'm talking to you now, you'll see my phone number on the screen. Call me and make sure within the next 1 to 3, 4 weeks, buy at least one investment property. Okay? Buy at least one investment property, and then a year or two after, make sure you buy another, and then a year or two after that, another and another. So you keep on buying continuously. Now, some people may see this as greed. That's just one way to look at it. A second way to look at it is that you are investing your money in such a way that that money you have invested will be available for you to spend by the time you retire. You see, the future is just as important as now. Now, what would happen if you say, oh, I don't want to be greedy, and instead of buying a lot of houses, you decide to just spend the money? All of that money, all that salary you earn, that juicy salary you earn month after month, all of that money will still be spent You either spend it traveling around, buying new cars, changing your clothes, organizing one party after another. But bottom line, by the time you are retired, all that money that you earn over a long period of time, very little of it will be saved in your bank account. The majority of it would have been spent on one thing or the other. So the smart thing to do, a smart employee would invest massively in Lagos real estate, where the prices of houses rise year after year, so that by the time you retire, you'll be able to maintain your financial status because of the amount of money you have invested in Lagos real estate. Remember, in Lagos here, if you buy property in an area with good return on investment, your property price can rise by as much as 10 times your initial investment in a period of 10 to 12 years. So my advice to you is this: don't be content with buying just one or two properties, okay? That will not be enough to defend you against the financial expenses that will come after you are out of paid employment. So what advice is that right now, buy a property. You may wonder, how do I buy a lot of properties? The prices of houses are high in Lagos. My advice to you is that buy a property where you live, and then subsequently buy investment property, land, low cost land, okay, in areas with potential for high return on investment like Ibeju-Lekki, and then hold that property, all of them, for as much as 10 to 15 years. You'll be amazed by how much the price will grow. And so if you have 20 plots of land or 40 plots of land, 72 plots of land, you are protected against the financial adversity that will come after you retire and the monthly salary is no longer coming in. Okay, so be wise, be smart. Call me now and let me show you options that are available, investment property options that are available, so that you start buying and buy something every year or every 2 years. And then by the time you retire, you have a massive net worth, such that your financial position is protected. Every time you need money, just sell one plot of land. Every time you need money, sell another plot of land. Even if you live another 20 years after you retire, your real estate assets will be enough to provide for your needs. No need to be chasing your children. No need to be chasing your relatives. You can provide for yourself. My number is on the screen. Call me right now. I'm waiting for you. Call me right now.